Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the book that saved my life. Hi, I'm Dr. Selina. I'm the founder of Medic Footprints Malaysia. Medic Footprints is a tribe by doctors for doctors. It's a community platform that connects doctors to diverse careers in and out of clinical medicine. But we're the only platform here in Malaysia that's committed to the success of doctors. Now, today, I want to share a bit about the book that changed my life. The book that has helped me transform my mindset and allow me to see all the available opportunities for me, even when I felt trapped in my career as a medical doctor. So I'll be sharing the keys, the lessons that I've learned from this book and how it's transformed my mindset. But before we go into that, I would like to give you a bit of a backstory of how I began. Now, before running Medic Footprints, I was actually a medical doctor at KKM. I found this book when I was in IMR. Now, prior to being in IMR, I was a NSMO. Being an NSMO, I was doing about 6 to 10 calls every month. Even within the working hours, I was really, really busy. Now then, when I transferred to IMR, suddenly I just had to work 9 to 6, no on calls. Even during that period, my work hours, I was pretty free. All of a sudden, I was free from this pressure of studying for a paper. I was free from the pressure of needing to know what's going on with my patients. All of a sudden, I had all my time back. So that's when I started thinking hey, maybe I should learn something new, pick something up. And I remember seeing this book. I've seen this book lying around in my parents' house for a very, very long time, but I never thought to, pick it up. But I've heard a lot of people talking about this book, so I thought, hey, let's see what the fuss is all about, right? So once I picked up the book, I couldn't stop. The book just shifted my mindset. The minute I finished reading it, my whole outlook in life has changed. My mindset was completely transformed. All of a sudden, I could see so many opportunities in front of me, and that gloomy skies had just parted ways. So at that time, I was living a life that felt really trapped. I was trapped by my own mindset and societal constraints. When I was a clinical AMBO in KKM, I was working very, very long hours. And the only thing I looked forward to in the entire year is my close to year-end holiday. I'd save up all my needs just so that I can take a stretch of holidays that would last about 3 to 4 months long. That was the only thing I had to look forward to, right? So I would buy a random ticket to a country and just explore for a month and then get back to work and repeat that cycle. So at the very beginning, that little that I was earning, it started when I was in housemanship. So that little that I was earning in housemanship, it was enough for me to do all these travels. But as the year went on, even though I was earning more, I became an MO in KKM and I was going up the ranks, but my funds were shrinking and shrinking. My salary as an MO in KKM just could not cope with the rising inflation. And at the time, I really did not know what to do, and I just felt so trapped. I felt like I couldn't see myself living this life forever, but yet I did not know what to do. The option of leaving government service to private was just too scary for me. And there was nothing, I didn't know what I could do until I found this book. Okay, but before I go into the lessons that I learned from this book, I want to emphasize that I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This is just lessons that I learned that I think would be very valuable for doctors like you and me. So also before that, be sure to go to our website at www.medicfootprints.com.my, join the tribe, but while you're there, do get your premium membership to enjoy all the perks of a premium member. Before I dive into the specifics of the book, I want to give you an overview of what the book is all about. Essentially, it's a book on personal finance, and it teaches you how to build wealth and achieve financial independence. Now, this book is written in a narrative with the author sharing the lessons he learned from his two dads. One was his biological father, who is highly educated but struggled financially, and the other is his best friend's father, who was not formally educated but became a successful businessman. Now, through these two dads, the author illustrates the importance of financial literacy and the power of the right mindset in achievable financial success. one of the key lessons that I learned from Rich Dad Poor Dad is the importance of financial literacy. Now, the author argues that our traditional education system does not prepare us well enough for financial success, and that's why we have to seek out more financial education to build our wealth. Now, this really resonated with me because as a doctor, my whole and sole and only focus is on medical knowledge and medical skills. I gave no priority to financial education or financial literacy. And because I didn't understand a lot of financial concepts like cash flow management, debt management, credit card bills and credit card debts, I was not confident in my ability to make informed financial decisions. So now I have to make a conscious effort to seek out education, my own personal education on personal finance and how to manage my money more effectively. I love how Robert Kiyosaki mentions this. Whenever we say, I can't afford this, we put a glass ceiling on what we can achieve. But the moment we start saying, how can I afford this? We start to think differently of how we can achieve what we want. When I started applying this mindset to my life, I can see how it's changed so many things and so many aspects of my life. I can see how I approach problem differently, how my emotions and feelings towards this problem as well. I became a more solution-oriented person instead of a problem-oriented person because I can see so many solutions to problems now. And this mindset is so empowering because it makes me take ownership of my situation. I've stopped blaming everyone around me for my circumstances. I've stopped blaming KTM, I've stopped blaming my bosses, I've stopped blaming my colleagues, and stopped blaming everyone else of what's going on in my life. And I found that very empowering because I know I have that power to change the circumstances of my life. This is so empowering because it's helped me navigate through tough times in my life. Whenever someone tells me it can't be done, I always ask, how can I get this done? And when I start asking this kind of questions, the people around me also start thinking differently, and we tend to be able to always solve our problems with that kind of mindset. I love how Robert Kiyosaki puts this into perspective in a very simplistic manner. So I grew up in a middle-income family, right? My mom and dad, my uncle, aunties, and other relatives were always talking about investing, and they would buy all these properties and they say, oh, it's such a good investment. And I never really could understand, how do they know it's a good investment? What do they mean by it being a good investment, right? Until I read this book and I realized that even they didn't know what a good investment was, because all the properties that they bought were pretty much bad investments because they were bleeding money from it every single month. Their rent was not enough to cover the mortgage. So there's a clear difference between an asset and a liability. So assets are something that puts money in your pocket, and liabilities are what takes money out of your pocket. So for this property to be an asset, a good investment, it means that the rent that they were getting from the property would need to be more than the mortgage that they're paying on the property. And assets are what you need to build your passive income. So Robert Kiyosaki has written extensively about managing debt, and he advises against taking on too much debt. He mentions that debt is a trap that most individuals take, and this can prevent them from reaching financial success and independence. And I can relate to that because I've seen a lot of doctors that take on too much debt. When you get your first paycheck, you get a new car or a new house, and then you get a student loan, your HLP, and it just goes on and on and on. And before you know it, you've got too much debt on your hand. So overall, Kiyosaki's philosophy on debt management is centered around the idea of minimizing debt and building passive income streams as a way to achieve financial freedom and independence. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and comment. Do check out our website to find out about the latest updates on all our workshops and programs that we have for you. Also, we have job listings for clinical and non-clinical careers on our website. And remember to join our Discord channel as well.